This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Happy Halloween, Horror Nights 33. The spooky season has finally begun, and tonight for episode 17, we will be finishing our recap for weeks 1 and 2 of HHN 2024 in Orlando, including our initial thoughts on Scarezones, food, and I will be chatting about the inaugural premium Scream Night, which I attended. So welcome to part 2. Buckle up and let the mayhem begin.
What a rush of fear.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michelle, your host for tonight, and with me, I've got the whole gang again. Maddy.
Hi.
And Kenneth.
What's up, everybody?
Hello. So
Yo.
hopefully we can get through tonight without it going into 2 hours, because Maddy and possibly Kenneth are trying to hit HHN tonight. We're recording this on a Sunday, and I live in South Carolina, so I don't get that pleasure of being able to go to HHN as much as I want, but they do. So I want them to go have fun.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
So awesome. So I won't be back again until October, but I'm hoping like that gives me a good like cross section of the event, because I went to opening week, which we know always sometimes has some bugs, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight. But then hopefully by like mid-October, things will be in full swing and everybody will be like in their groove, their scare acting groove. And I'm sure there's some changes that have happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah, some. A little bit.
Nothing big though.
I haven't noticed anything super major.
There's been a couple of characters added here and there to different things, but overall, scope-wise, I don't think it's anything big.
No.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, we talked about the houses on our last episode, which took a long time because, I mean, this is a really pretty strong event. So I believe we even surprised ourselves with how much we were able to talk about that first week. So tonight, let's just jump right on into the scare zones. Kenneth, why don't you kick us off with that?
Yeah. So the scare zones, I think maybe we'll do the same thing. We'll start at the entrance of the park and we'll head straight down towards New York, and we'll work clockwise around the park. Mm-hmm. And so first up, right in the entrance area, right in front of the main Universal Studio store and the Today Cafe, we have the Duality of Fear. Who wants to share their thoughts on this scare zone first?
I can go first.
Yeah.
So Duality of Fear, it was advertised to us as like a choose your path kind of scare zone, which after going to the event for, I think I'm now up to like 10 nights, I can definitely see the choose your path idea. It's roaming, it's a chainsaw horde. There's, I want to say usually between 6 to 7 chainsaw scare actors like in that zone. And usually the sinister dressed chainsaw people are on the straightaway as you go past Minions. And then the surreal chainsaw people are on like the curve in front of Today Show Cafe and where Oddfellows like caravan was last year, which then leads you to like the Demon Queen scare zone, which is surreal scare zone. So like I can see the choose your path thing that they were going for. It's just there's no other scare actors except for chainsaws. It's just the chainsaws, and then sometimes Sinister and Surreal are there. But I mean, it's chainsaws, so that's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're nowhere else in the park.
There again. Yeah, I was there opening weekend, and I didn't even notice this as a scare zone.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't really anything that tagged it as a scare zone to me. Yeah, chainsaws, but I mean, we've had chainsaws in that area roaming for as long as I can remember, they don't necessarily have anything to do with like a particular scare zone. So like, I don't know. It didn't feel like a zone to me. And again, I haven't had the luxury of going multiple nights like you, Maddie. But I did not get the choose your path idea. Like, I think that is a really cool idea. I love that idea. Like, I loved it in Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate house last year. Like, I think that's really, really a cool concept. And I wish that they had hashed that out more. I think that it was kind of a last minute thought, and it is an incomplete thought.
Yeah. Well, there's also no props either. It's just the neon Halloween Horror Night sign that we've had for the past couple of years. I think it made its return HHN 30.2, and then we've had it each year since. And like, that's where Sinister and Surreal are when it's not raining. Like, they go up to the top, which is pretty interesting. But other than that, there's not a single prop in the scare zone. It's just the roaming, the chainsaw horde scare actors. So like, yeah, it's not anything special. I definitely agree. And that's, I think, how the internet sees it as well. They're just there.
Yeah, this is not a scare zone.
No.
This is if they had said there are only 4 scare zones this year, and then there were some chainsaws at the entrance and Sinister and Surreal were there, I don't think anyone would have a problem with this. Yeah. Like, they might complain that, like, man, there's only 4 scare zones, but at least there's chainsaws at the entrance. But the fact that they called this a scare zone and it has 0 set dressing, 0 personality of any kind. I mean, chainsaws are always effective. So like, I think it's still, possible to have fun here. People are getting scared. People are getting a little bit of that Horror Nights flavor as soon as they walk in, but they just didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool would it have been for them to have a really big, like, giant set piece on the corner there, kind of like they did for the Pumpkin Lord, but bigger, and had like Sinister and Surreal on either side, and their little chainsaw minion people, no pun intended, like trying to coax people their way, right? Like, come this way towards pain. No, come this way. Like, that would have been really, really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sinister Surreal up top, like trying to like do a show. Like, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Any sort of set dress, like you said, any sort of set dressing that makes you understand that if you go straight, you will see Torture Fair. And if you go to the side, you will see like the Demon Queen scare zone. Like, any sort of props or anything relating to those, knowing that it is a path, like you are either going to go into Surreal scare zone or you're going to go straight into Sinister scare zone. Like that, there is a clear path each way, but with the chainsaws there, it just doesn't bring it out. And like, if it's raining, it's not there's no one there. If it's raining, there's not even a prop to let you know that a scare zone was there to begin with. It's just a sign.
Right. No. Yeah. I don't know. It was cool thought, but it's not hashed out.
No.
This zone sets the new low for what a scare zone has been.
Yeah.
I think previously the least, and this is no reflection on the performers. Everyone's doing the best with what they've been given. Mm-hmm. But the previous lowest point in like the design of a scare zone, in my opinion, was Altars of Horror in 2017, when it was just signs with the names of the IPs on them.
Oh,
and then
gosh, yes.
Characters from those IPs standing near them. I remember seeing that and saying, this is the worst scare zone of all time. They didn't do anything. They just put signs on the street.
Yeah.
And that's it. Well, this is truly nothing. Like, not anything at all.
Yeah.
It's the new low. It's the new low.
Wasn't there a similar scare zone in HHN 28 where it was signs for the IPs and then there was like men in ghillie suits?
So that one, it was, I want to say it was called The Harvest.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, there were signs. yes, there were signs with the names of the IPs, but with those signs were props and things from those IPs. And the zone was, if you took those IP signs off, it was at least like fences and kind of like scarecrow field kind of themed. And all of the characters in that zone were like scarecrows from the Scarecrow house. So it was something, even if it wasn't much. But like the entrance zone can't be a lot of the time. It kind of just sets the tone. And I think that this sets the tone in a really bad way when you walk in and there's just nothing there.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yes. Very sad.
But anyway, let's get out of negativity town and we're going to head straight to the back. We've chosen the path of Sinister for now, and we're going to head back to New York where we find Torture Fair.
Whoa!
And I think that the tone of our conversation is going to change drastically now. Torture Fair rules.
Yeah, it is the best. Oh my gosh. I could spend an entire event night just sitting in there and watching the scare actors. They are so funny. This is one of the best like New York zones I think I've seen. It's so much fun.
It is.
Yeah, they really took the idea of Renaissance fair, but real torture, to the very extreme of like the ultimate version of what you would think of for that.
Yeah, it's really
the
cool.
The costumes are so cool.
I love the Renaissance king and queen. Like they're like that whole little show thing they have going on up there is hilarious. It cracks me up.
You know what? I haven't even really stopped to watch that.
Oh, it's fun.
I have not spent a night yet, like really just taking in the Scarezones and watching little show moments. So we're coming up on week 3. Or no, we're coming up on week 5 now, right? This is the end of week 4.
Yeah, today's the end of week 4.
So, yeah, I'm sure once the event keeps getting busier and busier, I'll be spending some nights just hanging out in front of that stage and trying to see all the different things that can happen.
Yeah, they're funny. The jesters are my favorite characters, I think, of the whole event this year. They're so funny. And just, I'll tell you later when I get into the premium screen, but I had like some really good interaction moments with them on that night. So fun. This is a really cool, like really hashed out scare zone. The sets are gruesome and gross and like super cool. Lots of scare actors just having fun, doing their thing. I don't know. It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a great time. One of my favorite scares in that zone is the suit of armor that's like kind of down by the arcade connected to the Mummy gift shop. You could stand there and just watch that suit of armor scare people all day because his foot just rests on his trigger and he stands totally still next to like the stall selling wares. And, you know, people just walk by and he hits his trigger and takes a small step forward and people freak out. And it's just little things like that that make that zone so, so good. So, so good. But it's very much spooky Renaissance festival. One of my favorite friendship bracelets that I made this year was Death by Ren Fair. And I think that's so funny because it's, I don't know, it's just so cute and kooky and what a good way to present a New York scare zone in, I think, a style that they haven't done before. I mean, at least in the 7 years I've been going, we've never had anything like medieval or Renaissance-esque, I think. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. That night gave me one of the best scares on my first night where the character that was behind that little booth where they're like squishing heads was a friend of my friend that I was with. So we walked up and were just chatting and definitely thought that suit of armor was fake. And then you're right. All he did was just barely move, like took like half a step forward. And we were like, whoa! And like like jumped a little bit and immediately just like put whatever I was holding under my arm so that we could clap. We just were like, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. I highly recommend you go down Sting Alley, get yourself some baked beans, and sit on a bench like right there at the end of the scare zone and just watch the fun happen.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And all of the like torture, it's almost like Saw. Like if there was a Saw scare zone, I think it would be very similar to this, where like people are just running around, victims with these like torture devices on them. And it's like, it's gross but it's silly and it's fun, and they can get some pretty good scares, and just like the variety of costumes that there are, like there's monks and squires and jesters and just like every kind of Renaissance person.
A wizard.
It's just it just does. Yeah, there's a wizard. It's so funny.
Yeah. The
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
the what are they called? The plague.
Oh,
guys,
the plague doctors.
Oh
yeah,
the plague doctors.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Very, very cool. Big
Someone in creative this year must have some sort of like D&D campaign going on that they're pulling inspiration from, because between this and Goblin's Feast in the back, like it's so Dungeons and Dragons coded. Like it's so cool. It's so fun. And it seems like all of the medieval torture devices that they're using, either like the set pieces or the props that the scare actors that like they're wearing, those are all real forms of torture that we've used in the past, which is interesting. So someone definitely did their research and was like pulling from the archives of history to find these torture devices. But it's so fun. And I really hope that they continue this like fantasy theme they have going on through the next couple of years, because it's so cool and it's a very refreshing theme, I think.
Yeah. There's one scare actor in that zone that kind of takes you out of the Renaissance feeling, because she's walking around with like a skewer that has a I think it's a finger sticking on the tip. But
with the marshmallows?
Marshmallow on it. Like,
yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, did they have marshmallows back in the medieval times? I don't know.
I hope so.
Well, the thing
cracks me up.
But the thing with the zone is that it does not take place during the Renaissance. It's a modern day Renaissance fair.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it's so funny.
So they can have modern things.
Yeah, it's funny. It is a very funny, like, it's weird to say, like, it's a funny zone when it's literally based on torture, but it is. It's a funny zone.
Yeah.
And again, no one's really being tortured. It's all pretend. It's all for fun.
Yeah. I do love, though.
Now, that is my only, now that you say that, that's my only, like, downside of this one, is I wish that there were some more, like, fake torture things going on with actual actors instead of dummies.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm being nitpicky. I am being nitpicky. But I remember like my first HHN 2020, was it 2025 or the next year, where they had
2025, Michelle, you're in the future.
Set up and 25.
Oh.
The 25th anniversary.
Yeah, the icons were 25. Yeah.
Yeah, weren't they? Is that the one where they were pulling like actual, like they had actual characters on stage, like acting like they were getting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like victim performers
stuff. Yeah. Like, I mean, they've done it in the past. That would have been, I think that would have been just like a level up.
Fair. Vanity Ball had that too. That was my role one night. I was the victim that got pulled up on stage and got my face ripped off. That was sick.
Exactly.
And that was 28,
yes.
I think. 29. That was HHN 29.
Like, imagine that up on the stage, you know, the torture chamber thing that has the spikes in it. Mm-hmm. Imagine if they put a person in there and like closed it while the person's screaming, and then like fake blood runs down.
Well,
like that would have been really cool.
They do sometimes close it, and there is a body in there.
It's a fake body.
But water does spray out of it.
Yeah.
When they close
There's
it.
like that face at the top of I want to call it a casket, but it's not a casket, but there's a face up top.
It's an Iron Maiden, right?
Yeah. And
Iron Maiden,
sometimes the like king and queen will like pull someone over and be like, oh, like, look at this. This is so fun. And they like open it up, and then they have the person, whoever they pulled up, be like, close it. And then they close it. And then the water like sprays directly onto that person because it's exactly where they're standing, which I think is so funny. But they do have, cool. And I don't know if it's because Sinister will come into the zone and walk around, and she has a show moment up on the stage with the king and queen, and they pull one of the scare actors up and they cut off his tongue. And then the queen like wiggles his tongue around and is like, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that one's fun. But as far as I know, that's the only like show moment with someone up on that stage.
Like a live actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there might be more. Mm-hmm. There might be more. Again, I have not spent any time watching that. So I'm sure there's more going on up there.
It's also been raining so much too.
Yeah. This week it didn't rain at all though. This week was great.
That's true. I only went to the event one night this week though. And it was popping. It was so busy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Torture Fair. A good time.
Sweet. Good time. Yep. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this next one, Kenneth. Is it going to be Negative Town again?
I hope not.
Not as much. We're going over now to San Francisco, where we find Enter the Blumhouse.
Woo!
And in this zone, we do have little set pieces and little stages featuring characters from different Universal Blumhouse movies. Mm-hmm. So we've got characters from Megan, Freaky, Happy Death Day, The Purge. And if there's any others, I'm not sure. And no longer featuring anything from the Wolfman.
Yeah. There's
January 17th.
I don't know. He came out the one night, and then what was it? 2 days ago, they totally removed that entire photo set, and now there's just a basic Halloween Horror Nights like backdrop for you to take pictures with. Like it's
like the same one that's at the HHN bar, and it's the same art that's in the medallion.
It was so random. I don't know. There's also the gentleman or the people from the Black Phone. So there's the two kids and then the grabber.
Black Phone, yes.
Yeah. This is a scare zone that's had a little bit of change though. So like, the Wolfman went away. And then they have added the Statue of Liberty gal from the Purge movies, the one that was in the Purge scare zone for 27.
Oh.
So she'll roam around. She's only in one set, I believe. She's in the set. So there's two versions of the grabber. There's the grabber with the spray can of like spray paint with the top hat. And then there's the grabber in the sweater that has the belt. She is in the set that has the top hat grabber. I have not seen her in the other one.
Okay.
But yeah, so she got added, I think, middle of last week, which was very fun because that's such a cool costume.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen her, but this is an okay zone. I don't really have any beef with this zone. It
scary.
Is what I thought it would be, which is similar to what was it called, the Crypt TV zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but at least these characters are ones I recognize. I wish the set, like little set elements, had a little bit more to them or felt a little bit more consequential, I guess. But they're fine. It's fine.
I mean, this is more like a photo op scare zone to me because, like you said, the stages, they're not really like built out very much at all.
No.
Especially where like Megan is and the grabber.
Yeah, but that neon is so pretty. I really love when they use neon at the event.
It is.
It's so fun. It looks good.
It makes for some good pictures, which, I mean, it's like a photo. It is a photo op zone to me. Although I did have a like fun interaction with one of the Purge guys, the president guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So during Premium Scream, we were waiting in line. There's a food booth right there. And we were waiting in line, and they had already told us that one item, I don't remember what it was, one of the popular items was out. I think it was the candy apple mousse or whatever. And so that guy like comes over and he acts like he's cutting in line, and he's kind of interacting with some people in front of us and talking. And I was like, and then he jumps in line like he's going to get some food. And I was like, hey man, they're out of the candy apple. And he actually is like talking.
Oh,
And he was like, of course. And then he like walks off and like, acts like he's all pissed off about there being no candy apples. But it's cool. Like I have had a couple of like really cool interactive moments in there, but
yeah.
as far as it being like scary, like you're going to walk through it and think that you're going to get like jump scared. No, not really.
Yeah, that's fair. That's valid. I think they've learned with this zone, and that it's getting harder and harder with the crowd levels, especially with the dump of nightmare fuel, that this zone can't have a lot of big set pieces because it just bottlenecks so terribly. And like people don't know how to behave themselves when things are bottlenecked. And there's also like a lot of scare actors and big set pieces around, which is unfortunate. I wish it wasn't like that, but it's the way that it is. But I don't know. I like this zone. I think it's kind of fun. I like you, Kenneth. I actually recognize all the characters, unlike Crypt TV. And I think that they're good characters that bring a lot of nostalgia from previous event years. Like HHN27 had the Purge Scare Zone and the Purge House, and that was my very first year. So it's fun to see some of those characters back in the streets. And like my hope is that it's some of the same like Purge costumes from that Scare Zone, because I love when they recycle. But I don't know, it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than Duality of Fear, so we'll take it. But yeah, I like it.
Sure.
I think it's cool. I like Megan. I like actually being able to find Megan. Because last year I think I saw that dance set like one time. But it is very interesting, like standing off to the side and kind of like watching her, because I still haven't seen that movie, but I've seen enough on the internet of the movie to understand like those scare actors that play Megan do a really good job. They have very creepy, realistic doll movement, and like they don't break. They are so good, and it's just a little unnerving to watch. It's like very uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Is it a doll? Is it a person? I don't know.
Yeah.
I must be delayed, huh?
I think I'm delayed.
I think I'm delayed.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Fun times.
Oh.
So what I was going to say is what's interesting about the zone, and you saying that they've learned about creating a bottleneck. You would think that would be true. However, in this zone, not only does like the show Nightmare Fuel kind of dump towards this direction when that mad rush hits, but also they have a food booth in that little tiny area that can get pretty congested. And then also the Mr. Sweets house dumps right there too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The way they set it up this year is weird.
It is weird, but that area is just so small. I mean, even during the daytime, like if Fast and Furious was, dumping right there as well, and there were no Halloween Horror Nights set pieces, that narrow San Francisco area is just always kind of congested. So it's not just a Halloween Horror Nights issue, it's a daytime issue as well. Like the park was built when not as many people were traveling and going on vacation, I feel like. And so they made walkways smaller. And now we have a lot of people that are traveling, and they're just all in the same place together. That's why they expanded Hogsmeade when they brought it over to Hollywood, because they were like, oh, dang, we built these sidewalks too small. Guess we can learn from our mistakes in this new place. Yeah. And then they built it bigger. And everyone was like, yay! Yeah. Unfortunately for this one, we can't really expand that sidewalk because it's just a giant lagoon next to it. But it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the only couple things I have for this zone is, one, every time if I do walk through and think like, oh, man, I wish this zone was something better. Like, why is this zone here? And then immediately after I have that thought, I hear someone just go, whoa, my God, look, it's Megan. And they like freak out and they go and look at her. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why this is happening. And people love it. And so, like it's right that it's there. And the only character that I didn't recognize and he's up on one of the stages and he's like a construction guy.
Yeah.
Who just he just moves very funny and weird. And he's from the Forever Purge.
Yeah.
Which I saw in theaters, but I haven't seen since, and I don't remember that costume. But the way he moves on that stage does not feel
it's so silly,
intimidating in the way that the Purge is. Yeah, it's very funny in a way that I don't know.
I had to look up his scene in his movie on. I did it on TikTok because where else can you find clips from movies? But his scene in that movie, he jump scares this lady in her car at a stoplight, and he like mushes his face up against her window. It's very weird. And I don't know if he's in any other parts of the movie, but that was the one scene that I saw on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, that's weird, but whatever.
So is the way he moves in the movie, is it consistent with the way that this character is moving? I mean, in the scare show?
In that, because he was like mushing his mouth and face like all over her window. So like kind of, I guess, but like I don't know why that's necessary for his movement in the scare zone. Like, he's just a character. Let him move how he wants to move. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But if you stay in the zone for long enough, and it's such a simple zone, but it's still fun because there's cool moments. If you stay in the zone long enough, part of the music loop is the Purge, like announcer and then siren, and all of the Purge scare actors kind of stop what they're doing, and they all like lift their hands and their props up in the air, and they're just kind of like, yes, the Purge. And it's like, it's very intimidating and very cool. And Lindsay and I caught it. I brought my camera for the first time to the event this year on the 20th, and we caught it, and I got just the coolest picture of 3 of the Purge scare actors in the middle of like the 4-post kind of archway thing in the middle of the zone, and they're all just kind of standing near each other with their hands up in the air. And it's a really cool moment. Like, I don't know, it's so simple, but it's so fun. And it just makes you think of the movies, and, that's why the zone is there. So it was neat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's move around
Not
the
bad.
lagoon. What do we come to next, Kenneth?
Next up in Central Park, we get to Swamp of the Undead.
I have opinions.
Oh, go for it.
I think this zone is so unsafe. I have safety concerns with the zone. Overall, theming wise and scare actor wise, I think it's beautiful and wonderful, and they're doing a great job. However, the pavement of Central Park is so slick, and there's misters in that zone that are just consistently misting the entire area, obviously to make it look like a swamp, which it fully does. Like the atmosphere of the area is so pristine and perfect. However, it's so slick, and I have almost eaten shit so many times in that zone because you're doing your thing, you're walking through, and it's just super slippery on the ground. You get scared, but the water is all over the place, and I have to like grab onto Lindsay as I'm like trying not to fall on the ground. And then you add in that zone is historically a very dark zone, so you can't really see where you're going. And it's Florida, and they're pumping the fog in, which makes sense. I love it. But with all of these things combined and the addition of the screaming, running teenagers this year, I just think that this zone in this moment in time is so unsafe. And I'm so sad because I want to hang out in it and watch the scare actors and watch the animatronic props move. But I can't because it's so scary, because it's just in my head so unsafe. And those are my thoughts. And that's it. I do like it though. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I think I've only walked through this one a couple of times, but and I don't remember it feeling slippery to me. But again, maybe it wasn't because of the timing that I walked through. It wasn't quite like wet enough, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely gets very wet.
Yeah.
But it does, like, I don't know. I think the texture of the street keeps it from being like super slick. I don't know. I like the way that it helps. I get what you're saying, where like maybe they thought about like the aesthetic of it, and then like didn't consider like, oh, what effect is this going to have on safety?
Yeah.
But I don't think it feels any less safe than any other Central Park scare zone.
I think I might have just caught it at bad times, but
yeah. Because it isn't fog, it is mist. So it definitely is more wet. Like everyone in that zone is just wet all the time. Which I think is a crazy thing to do.
Yeah. Those poor scare actors.
You know? Yeah. And like the scare actors, the escorts, the coordinators, like everybody who's out there is just damp.
Yeah. A little damp all the time. But like atmosphere wise, this zone is killer. Like
it's beautiful.
The lights that they do have in there, even though they're few and far between, and the mist and the scare actors and the props, like it is a very, very cool zone. And someone was saying that there was supposed to be firefly effects. I think they were saying that like on the round table, like the executive round table that got posted, or like the creative round table. But as far as I know, those firefly effects did not make it to the event, which is sad because that would have been so cool. And like Tiana's Bayou adventure.
Yeah, I do wish we had that.
With zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, with zombies.
Yeah, I think this one's beautiful. I love the Central Park scare zones. I always think they're usually the most beautiful. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's probably the most elaborate scare zone, and this probably the scariest, just because of like, and it usually is just because you can't like get away from it. You know, it's very in your face.
Yeah,
scare zone. So I like it. I like it a lot.
The set dressing is fantastic for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so dark in there, though, that like during the day, people kept taking, before the event started, pictures of the like little critters and of all the stuff. And then when you're walking through there and it's actually open, like you can't see any of that stuff.
None of it. It's pretty dark. The light inside of that like treehouse cabin thing is pretty cool. So if like that little area of set dressing does get some decent light, but other than that, there's not much, which makes me sad like you, Kenneth, because it is really well decorated. Like whoever worked on that scare zone did a great job.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think the scare actors are doing a pretty good job too. I think that zone is kind of hard to scare in just because it's so tight. And so like scares can only really come from the side of the road and not really from anywhere else, just to accommodate people walking. But they're doing a good job. And some of those costumes are really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you can't see like 2 inches in front of your face.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's a scare actor right there.
Yeah. Golden hour in this zone is beautiful. Like if you're doing Stay and Scream, those first 2 sets before the sun like actually goes down is so beautiful in this zone. 'Cause like this scare zone feels like Florida. Like it is a Florida themed scare zone. So with like the actual humidity in the air and then just the aesthetics of the zone, you're like, oh wait, yeah, like this makes sense. This makes sense to be in this state. But golden hour through the trees.
Feels like home.
Yeah, pretty much. Golden hour through the trees hits just right. And it's so, so, so pretty. I love it. I've only seen it once, but it was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have much more to say about this one, though. It's just, It's a classic Central Park zone with a very unique take or like approach to getting to that atmosphere with no fog, but using mist instead. And that's cool. Questionable. I don't know that I would do it again, but it's cool.
Yeah. What's the last one?
All right. Well, let's talk about the last scare zone because it's my favorite.
Last scare zone in Hollywood. As we make our lap around the park, we get to the Demon Queens.
Woo!
Michelle, I'll let you go first because you seem excited about this.
I mean, I was because I've only had good experiences in it so far. And oh my God, like these scare actors that in my experiences, the scare actors in this zone were like all in full force, having fun. This scare zone, they have so much room to like play. So in my experiences, they would like team up. They're really good at like, I don't know, just their teamwork amongst the cast in this zone was so incredible. I don't know how they figure out how to do these things, but like they team up and like come at you from all different angles. We literally could not get away from these scare actors. In my experiences. And then also like interacting with Surreal was very, very fun. I don't know. It was just jam packed, and it's probably the most fun I've had in this location in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty
What
cool.
about you guys?
This zone definitely caught me off guard. I was not really having high expectations for this one, and it rules. It kind of rocks. It's I think a good example of doing a lot with a little, or like a little goes a long way. Like the design of it is really simple, but the costumes are so cool and weird, and the atmosphere is just right, and like it just works. It's like you just have a good time when you go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's really neat. I didn't get it the first couple of times we walked through. But then 2 nights ago, Lindsay and I spent a good bit of time in here just like hanging out. And it did really, really grow on me. Like the scare actors do a really good job of being just creepy, which I think is very fun. I think my only gripe is that in this zone for the past, this is now the third year, we've just had some scare actors in black hooded gowns, which like, you know, that's cool because they do blend in and they are hard to see when the fog is really pumping. So those scares definitely do hit with those scare actors, but it's kind of like, well, you could put them in something else too. That would be cool. Because this zone has definitely had some really sick costumes in the past. But overall, I think it's really, really fun. And when Surreal gets up onto that like middle stage with her 4 like queens with her, I think that's really, really fun. And I found out from Clint from Thrill Geek that each one of those 4, I don't want to call them minions, but they're like her like queens underneath Surreal. Each of their outfits is based on a different type of fear, which is not something that I would have picked up on alone. But I'm glad that Clint had the information to tell us. So like the lady in orange that has like the eyeballs on her little like turban, that is the fear of being watched. And then the lady that has the cage over her face and like the weird metallic dress, that's the fear of enclosed spaces. And then the lady that has like the vines on her and the white outfit with the pants, that's the fear of being entangled. And then he could not remember the other one that's in like the jumpsuit with the spikes and the bob cut, but I'm going to assume it's like the fear of like being impaled or something. I don't know. Something weird like that.
That's like my favorite costume.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
It's very cool. But yeah, It's neat. And the props in here are pretty minimal. I'm assuming because of Mega Movie Parade that has to roll through during the daytime. But those big portal props that are on each of the ends of the scare zone are so creepy. They're like kind of glossy. Yeah. And like it makes them look like kind of slimy when the light hits it just right. And they're really creepy. I can't look at them for too long or I like freak myself out, but they're really cool.
Yeah. So during Premium Scream Night, when we walked through here, it was so freaking fun. And I don't know if it was only because it was Premium Scream Night and there weren't a ton of people. So they whenever somebody came through, they just attacked. But probably the best experience I've ever had at least in a very long time was in this scare zone, because literally we had probably like 15 scare actors surrounding us, and it was just 3 of us. And we walked into the scare zone coming from the Central Park end, and they immediately attacked Krissa. Not only did they attack her, but then they were holding her hand and making her follow, come on, follow me. So they took her all the way up as a sacrifice to Surreal. And
that's
Surreal
so cool.
Wanted her to Surreal wanted her to bow and everything. And before we knew it, we turned around and literally every freaking scare actor in that zone was surrounding us. We could not get out. And they just kept getting enclosing us tighter and tighter. And everywhere we walked, there was somebody jumping out at us, and we would jump, away from this person, and somebody would get us from this side. It was the coolest freaking thing ever.
Nice.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Loved it so much. Awesome.
Yeah, but sounds like we do like this zone. This zone is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
I think overall, I think we started off the year people being really disappointed with the zones, and the more time I've spent in them, the more I'm like, they're not as bad as I thought. I don't think it's a particularly strong lineup of scare zones, but there's fun to be had.
Yeah,
and everyone's doing a good job. And originally I was like, there's only one good scare zone this year, and now I'm like, okay, no, there's 3 good scare zones. One of those being excellent, just fantastic. And then there's an okay zone, and then that's it. There's another area where the scares are happening, but it's not a scare zone.
I feel like scare zones are where the budget cuts have been happening more and more over the past several years. Yeah,
I agree.
Which is it's sad to me, because scare zones, when I first started coming to the event, scare zones were my favorite. I loved the scare zones as much as I did the houses. Mm-hmm. But that's definitely not the case anymore.
I think our scare zones at Halloween Horror Nights, between us and Hollywood, our scare zones set us apart from other haunts. I don't, going to Hollow Scream, they have some pretty good scare zones, but they're nothing compared to our top-notch scare zones that we have here. And Sir Henry's that I got to go to last year for the first time, they have roaming characters in the courtyard, but the main focus is the houses, which makes sense. So I feel like scare zones for Horror Nights are really what set us apart in the haunt community, because they're usually, and I think they're fantastic this year too. I think this year is just an interesting year for Universal itself. There's a lot that has changed, and there's a lot that's coming, which could play a part in why things are the way they are. But even with this year, we have fantastic scare zones. The theming is always so insane. The props are insane. The costumes are crazy. Some of the music that I've heard in scare zones have been some of my favorite songs ever. I still listen to my Anarcade playlist, and I still listen to my Zombieland Double Tap playlist, and my Vamp 85 playlist. So we have really good zones, and it's what makes our event so unique. So even at their worst, they are still so incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Sweet. Well, speaking of community, let's talk about our Rush of Fear Society real fast before we move on to Premium Scream Night.
Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, join the Rush of Fear Society. It's awesome. So the society is our subscription service, where you get lots of bonus cool stuff. Maddy, Kenneth, did you guys have done what, 2 watch-alongs so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Watch-alongs. We've got like some bonus episodes, some bonus content feed, some unedited content. We'll have some merch giveaways. We also have our private society Discord account, which is really popping. So yeah, join the society. All you have to do is follow the link in the bio of this episode or on our social media accounts. Just head to our Supercast page and sign up. Super easy. Membership is only $5 a month, or you get 2 months for free if you sign up for the whole year. So for the year, it'd be $50. And like I said, you get access to all of that fun stuff. And this year, you also, by subscribing, get the free 2024 HHN Orlando Foodie Guide. So please hurry up. Get signed up before the event is over so that you get that free guide. So,
yeah. And those guides
That's right.
are
Time is running out on the foodie guide.
Yeah, they are also still for sale as well. So if you do not want to become a member of this society, but you still want to have a foodie guide, they are $6. And you can also follow the link in our show notes or in our bios of all of our social media accounts to get your own copy of that. Our foodie guide is so cute and adorable. It's like the size of a credit card. But it has all of your information about the food this year, from where things are to descriptions of the items to allergy notifications. And it's just also a fun souvenir. I think for the event itself, you can mark off and like tally off how many times you try things or if you liked it or didn't like it. And it's just a cute little memory to look back on for the event. So those are also available for purchase as well. Woo.
Yep. Sweet.
Woo.
All right. Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Portkey Vacations.
I wish to go to Walt Disney World.
When you wish upon a star.
The cryptos creak and the tombstones quake.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the Portkey at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin. All right, so I'm going to give just a brief overview of my night at Premium Scream. I know that it was a pretty controversial event when it was first announced. I had high hopes for Universal, and, they did not disappoint, which made for an amazing night. So keep in mind, I am quite spoiled when it comes to HHN. I usually either have Express Pass and since I've done an RIP tour back in, I think my first one was in 2019, I've done an RIP tour every year. So I'm pretty dang spoiled. Okay. This night was the best night of Halloween Horror Nights I have ever experienced. It was so freaking incredible. So it was me. I had a friend with me, and I also had my 13-year-old daughter. We got there and got into the event. Let's see, they opened their doors right about 6-ish, I guess. And we stayed until 2 a.m. The entire night, the waits for all of the houses never got above 10 minutes. Usually closer to 5 minutes, and pretty much by 5 minutes, that it means like I just had to walk in the line and get go, like the wait was walking in the line. There was no such thing as a conga line, obviously. They didn't care. Nobody the whole night made me move through the house. I could have literally stood in one spot in the house for 10 minutes if I wanted to and just watch that one thing over and over again. It was crazy. It was like the first few houses that we went through, because this was my first night of HHN too. So I had no idea what I was walking into. My first experience this year was walking in just the three of us. So crazy experience. But like it was not dialed down at all. The scare actors, the boo holes were full. Their scare actors were like doing their thing. It was so good. And then on top of that, all of the food was free. Lee's going to get on to me when he says free because obviously I had to pay for a ticket. But
included.
It was included.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean like all of the food booths, Mel's, Louis, Fast Food Boulevard, like sodas, the Pop-Banana, popcorn.
I don't think I realized that the
Any
restaurants were included. I thought it was just the food booths. That's sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nope. Everything.
That's crazy.
I could literally walk up. Yeah. I could walk up and get a soda as often as I want. I could walk up and get a bottled water or a Powerade as often as I wanted. The only thing that wasn't included was alcohol.
Which makes sense.
Everything else was included.
That's wild.
If you guys followed along with me on our Rush of Fear account that night, you already know this. If you didn't, maybe you can go back and see it. But so the ticket was like with taxes, it was under $350, but that included admission. Keep in mind, if you do an RIP tour, you have to pay for the RIP tour, but on top of that, you also have to buy your HHN ticket. Okay. So this was the ticket that included admission, for under $350. I think when I tallied it all up, because I kept track of all of the food that I ordered for the night, when I tallied it all up, the value for everything that was included in that ticket, I think it came up to be like $600 or something, for how much like I did and all of the foods that I tried. And because it was all included, I literally tried everything that was available at every booth that I went to, because like, when am I ever going to have that opportunity again?
Yeah, honestly.
Right? Like, yeah. And I'm a fairly picky eater. I'm not super, super adventurous. So I'm not going to go and pay $10 for something that it sounds iffy to me. But this, I was able to try things. And if I took one bite and it was disgusting, I didn't feel bad throwing it away. I mean, I'm not lying. It was so good. But my favorite thing ever was just literally being in the houses by myself. We went through every single house twice except for Major Suites and Major Suites. We went through triplets 3 times. So Major Suites and the museum. Those were the only 2 we didn't go through twice.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was so cool. And I was able to just stop in my favorite scenes of the houses. I would literally just stop and watch, like the one that has the scare actor on the bungee. You know how quite often you miss those. Nope. We just stood there and watched it a couple times. It was so cool.
That is amazing.
It was so cool. And then even like going through the scare zones was different too. I hear that the scare actors did not like the night because to them it was boring. But for me, going through the scare zones, like we had all the attention, and it was awesome. Like I talked earlier about torture fair. So literally, that's what I did. I got those freaking awesome baked beans in Sting Alley. We sat down to take a little break, and the freaking jokers, the jesters, came over to us. They saw us sitting there, and they probably came over to us like 15 times. And they would come over with their little like horn thing, and they would like stand right in front of us and then just like do it in our face and then walk away. And then one time towards the end, they came over and we knew that they were about to do it, but he actually flipped it around and wanted Krista to squeeze it for us. But they were like super interactive. Yeah, they were so fun. So it was literally like the best night ever.
Yeah, that's
and
so cool.
I pray the HHN gods that they do this every year from now on.
Do you think, Michelle, that the event would benefit? Because we all know like how the first week is where, everyone's still getting in the groove of everything. The event is still, fresh for the year. They don't have all the kinks worked out. So do you think it would benefit maybe next year to have it be in the middle of the event, maybe like a Monday or a Tuesday when the event doesn't run, but do the premium Scream Night like dead center of the run to give the best possible like experience to everyone who's paying a premium ticket price? Or do you think it was fine being at the very like start of the event?
I think it was fine. I think it was an incredible value. Now I would be very upset if they oversell this event. Like that would completely defeat the purpose. So as long as they keep their word and they never start overselling it, I think it was perfect. It was perfect, not just for us, but it was perfect being at the beginning because I think it was a really good test run for not just the scare actors, but also like all of the people running the booths and running the show.
Fair.
Because it gave them a chance to like see how this event is going to function, because obviously the food was free. So those lines to get the food sometimes were still a little bit long.
Yeah.
And they really had to like push it, they had to push that food out. So I think that was a really good test run for all of the workers of the event, not just the scare actors. But on top of that, it was like a great event for those of us who attended too. It was a win-win.
Fair.
Michelle, I have a question about how the food worked.
Mm-hmm.
So normally you go up to the register and you order it, and then you take the receipt to the window. Did they skip that step? Did you just walk up to the pickup window and say, I want whatever?
No, they still had to ring us up.
Okay.
I guess that was how they like kept track of how much they went through.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like inventory stuff.
Yeah. No, we still had to walk up and order. They would have, each booth would have 2 lines. One if you were just ordering food, and one if you were ordering alcohol, because the one ordering alcohol, you still had to pay something.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the one line, we would just walk through, order, and that way they were still able to push the orders through to the actual like kitchen. And then, it was the same as any other night. It just, we didn't have to pay.
Nice.
Yeah. And we could ask for as much as we want. Like, I would go up to the food booth, like the one with the s'mores. I asked for 3 of them. And they were like, okay, here you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. I would do it again. I would do it every year. I would even pay a little bit more and do it. It was perfect. Do I think that they should do it more than one night of the year? Heck yeah. Like, yeah. I think they should do like 2 or 3 of these, like maybe one, or maybe 2, like one at the beginning and maybe one midway, or at the, after the last night or something. I don't know, but it was good.
Yeah, it sounds like Premium Scream was awesome, and I hope that they keep doing it. I don't know that I would ever feel the need to shell out all that money being a local who can go over and over, but I do think that the reviews were overwhelmingly positive, and if there was any hesitation on whether they would do it again, I hope that they would see that, like, okay, obviously a lot of people didn't do it because they didn't know if it would be worth it, and now that it has happened and everyone who went to it said it was amazing, it'll probably sell better next year. And of course, hopefully they know where to cap it so that it still keeps that value.
Yeah, because even with even with them underselling, now, I mean, there were still like people, so it didn't feel dead, but I'm sure that they undersold for what they wish that they had sold. But even still, like food ran out. You know, there were, before halfway through the night, most of the food booths had run out of at least one item. And I don't know like what their cap was for food distribution either. But so like there was still a good number of people. But it was 100% worth it. And I'm afraid to even say this because I don't want Universal to hear this and like not do it again. But for people that can't go multiple nights to HHN, this was perfect. For people that live out of state and just come in for like the weekend, 100% worth it. I would happily go to this one night of HHN and feel fulfilled for the whole rest of the event, like not having to go back.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. I also think that this would be a good event for anyone who might be like hesitant to attend Halloween Horror Nights Orlando simply for the crowds and like being able to accommodate themselves in that sense. Cause like if I love the event, I love it so much, but as I'm getting older, which I've talked about before, it's getting harder and harder for me to exist in loud, crowded environments. I've grown into my neurodivergency as I've gotten older, and I was isolated during COVID. And I think that if I had attended that night of the event, like I would have had the best time ever because it's my favorite event. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite time of the year and it's minimal crowd. So I could have had a lot more energy because I wasn't expelling my energy to kind of like keep myself homeostasis level wise, like balance, kind of like how Kelly was talking about, like the crowds and the loudness kind of drains people. And, you know, if you want to go, but you're nervous because of the crowd level, I think this is a fantastic night of the event for that.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And if they do it again next year, I'm 100% making Nancy go with me because like Nancy had fun at the event when I took her a couple of years ago, but she doesn't do crowds. She doesn't do people. This she could do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's such a difference between like the crowd in a city like New York City and then a theme park crowd. Theme park crowd is a very specific type of crowd, and it is not for everybody. Like I talk to families all the time at work that are like, we've wanted to come to Disney as a family forever, but this is just like not our vibe and it's not what we were expecting. And I was like, yeah, theme park crowds are a different beast than just like a crowd you might be used to in your local setting. Like I don't know what it is about it, but it's just it can be so overwhelming at times. And there's not much you can do because you paid so much money to be there that you feel like you have to exert yourself and you have to force yourself into this loud, crowded setting to get the most out of what you paid for. And that's not always, you don't always have to do that. Like, it's okay.
Well, and this is going to sound really snooty. Okay, listeners, this is going to sound snooty, but don't take it this way. So this night was not overrun by unsupervised teenagers. Mm-hmm. There were no small children. I mean, there were some children, but they were all like with their families, and they were all of the people that were there were your hardcore horror fans. Okay. Like these are the people, these were your people. Anybody who's willing to like shell out money for something like this, they're your people, right? Like they're not like, hey mom, can I go to this event with my friends, please? Will you give me $350 for a ticket? Like, no, that's not going to happen this night. Right. So like the people that are there are people that are like-minded with you. And there was no like annoying people. There were no like overly drunk people there. Like these were all like our HHN people. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's good. I hope that they do it again, and I hope they see what positive reviews it got, because like Kenneth said, like it truly, on the internet, there was not a single negative review that I saw. Like everyone was so nervous about it because of the price point, but I think once everyone who didn't go because of the price saw how amazing it was on the back end, like I do think that I do think it's going to return. I think that it was such a success that it'll definitely return. And you got a cool memento. Didn't you get like a lanyard for it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so fun. So it's kind of like doing an RIP tour, but cooler.
Cooler. Other than the fact
Your
that we
own
didn't,
self-guided art.
well, like we didn't have the guide told us about like the house history and stuff. So I did miss that.
Yeah.
But no, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
That's
sweet.
Sick. Okay, I think I rubbed that in enough. So let's talk about food and drink.
Yeah, so we are getting close to our hour marker here, and we're gonna have like a food episode at the end of the event. So I think what we should do is mention our, at this moment in time, like top food item that we've tried and top drink item that we've tried. And then at the end of the event, we can talk more about everything that we tried overall. But I think if we talked about everything we tried right now, we would go to like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've tried basically everything.
I have not, but I do have a favorite as of right now. So if one of y'all wants to start with your favorite food item, we'll do favorite food 1, 2, 3, and then favorite drink 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'll start off since I was just talking about Premium Scream and I got to try a lot of things. So my favorite thing that I have tried so far, I'm going to do one sweet and one savory. So my favorite like savory was the baked beans. Sorry, but they were so freaking good. And even though the night was hot, like, and eating a hot food didn't seem like a great idea, it was so good. And my favorite sweet thing so far was actually the Stay Puft S'more. He's so cute and it was so yummy. And it's like real Hershey's chocolate. It was good.
Nice. Kenneth?
My favorite, it's very hard because I think overall I'm not that impressed with the food, but there have been a lot of things that I have liked, just nothing has really wowed me. So I think it's hard to think of a favorite because I think everything is mostly just okay. But I will say that the other night I had the Red Door again, and it just saved my life. It was so perfect. I think that Insidious food booth Red Door is a home run.
Is that the one with the eggs?
Well, that one is eggs in the further.
Oh, okay.
That's like a egg in the hole. The Red Door is like a little hand pie. It's kind of like the coffin, but it's shaped like a door.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
It really rules. I mean, the eggs in the further is really good too. And then I also have a sweet one I want to shout out, and I think that this is this year's weird food, and that's the frozen death chill, that weird fried mint cheesecake.
Kenneth, no.
With glitter and
No, it was good. I liked it.
I like it.
Yeah. I liked it.
It's so strange. And I mean that as a compliment. It's the weirdest thing I've ever loved. It's so good. I don't know. It's like, it's something about it just really worked for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I liked it.
I don't know if I can continue. Okay. I mean, to each their own. It's very valid. No. I do like mint. But I think for me, it was because like there's such a difference between like a mint chocolate chip flavor and then like toothpaste mint. And to me, this was toothpaste mint, but then deep fried. And in my head, those two things did not mix in my mouth. And I had a very bad experience, but that's totally fine. To each their own. Everybody loves different things. I'm happy to hear that that's somebody's favorite, because I would never have thought that would have been for the event. So I'm very proud of you both, but
I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I liked it.
I will say I'd never experienced something that was mint flavored and hot.
Yeah.
And it's that's where I was like, whoa, what is happening here? Like it was fascinating. I
did like
shaped
the
like
glitter.
a corn dog, like weird.
Yeah. It was super glittery, which I thought was really fun. Like holding it, I was just covered in glitter. But that's so funny. Okay, I think I guess I'll do a sweet and a savory too, since that's what we're going for. I think my favorite sweet item this year is the goblin pie over at the Goblin's Feast booth. It's that like mini apple pie with the raspberry jam on top. It's like a sophisticated, elevated version of the McDonald's apple pie. And it hit so hard when I tried it. It was so yummy, and it had the gooey apple inside, and it was hot, which you don't always get at festival events like this in Food and Wine. So that was a bonus. And then I think my favorite food item, or like savory item, I really liked the spinal column pinchos, which is like it's the chicken on a stick, and it has that chimichurri sauce. It was $10, which feels like a lot, but the size of the chicken, I mean, it was like the length of my forearm. Like they gave you so much chicken, and the chimichurri sauce was really, really yummy. So I really liked that one. And that's from the Monstros booth over by La Bamba. It's like a kebab of chicken.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. Yeah. Gotcha. Very yummy.
It's pretty good.
What's everyone's favorite drink? It can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
So drink-wise, the only thing that I tried at the event was that boba lemonade thing that was over in the Blumhouse Scare Zone.
Yeah, the Major Sweets booth.
Oh, I haven't tried that one yet.
It was pretty good. It was okay. And then, I forgot to tell you that butterbeer was included for free during the night too. So
shut up.
Yeah, butterbeer was pretty
Get out
yummy.
of here.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
I'm going next year. I could drink the price of that ticket in butterbeer. Watch me. I'll do it.
Yeah. All of the drinks back there were included, and food. Like it was all included. Okay. So yeah, that boba was the only one that I've tried, and I haven't tried anything alcoholic. So.
Okay.
I think I've only tried one of the like cocktails. And that was the Ghostbusters one, the Class V concoction, I think it's called, which is very like honeydew melon flavored, which I love. It's very refreshing. So that was good. But my drink of choice overall over the season has been the Bloody Murder IPA, the beer. I'm more of a beer person anyway. I'm not really making it a point to try all the different cocktails because I just like beer.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend if you're not really liking it anyway.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's not worth the risk for me. I know what the beer is going to taste like, and it's usually cocktails you pay more and they are smaller, but with these you just pay more and it's the same size as the beer because it's the Blinky cup. So that's not really a factor as much anymore, but I still don't know if I'm going to like it. So I'd rather just get the beer.
Yeah. That's valid. My go-to beer has been the Whole Hog Pumpkin Ale. They brought that over here for HHN33, which was like the super Halloween-y themed year, and they've kept it ever since. And that is a home run beer right there. I love it. But for cocktails, the Black Cat's Reprieve over in it's the bar on the back of Lombard's that was the bar with Mr. Pumpkins last year. It's so good. It is Bacardi rum, lime juice, watermelon syrup, simple syrup, and Fanta pineapple. Oh my God. It was.
That does sound good.
It was so, because you know how like Fanta pineapple has that like bite to it, like it has that like soda bite. It was so yummy. Lindsay really wanted to try it, and I got myself a beer because I wanted one. And like we were fighting over who was going to finish her drink because it was so yummy. So I highly recommend that Black Cat Reprieve. Also, that bar back there, there's no music. No one really knows that it's back there. And it's some of the nicest bartenders I've ever met at Horror Nights. Not that the other ones aren't nice, but like they were so nice. They were so nice, and it was so quiet and chill. So like if you're looking for a good place to get away from crowds and sit down and also like have a drink, that bar behind Lombard's is a go-to. So just advice for you.
I just found out that there's a drink in La Bamba. I don't know if it's at the food ordering or if it's at the bar that's in La Bamba, but one of those drinks is spicy. And one of my friends had it last night and sent me a snap of it. And I was like, what the heck drink is that? That's spicy. Where do you get that? I want that. I love anything that's spicy that isn't supposed to be. So like drinks, chocolate, ice cream, like spicy stuff is, I love that. So I need to get this spicy drink.
Is it like a Bloody Mary or something?
No, I think it's like a margarita or something. I don't
Is
know.
it the Depredadora? Depredadora?
I could not. I've told you everything I know about it.
Because
it's spicy.
At the Monstrose booth, there's one drink, but from what I'm reading in the description, unless Disco Inferno Bitters is something that's spicy, none of it would be spicy. But that sounds yummy. A spicy drink is fun.
I know there's a bar like in the window of La Bamba where like the Mimosa bar used to be, you know? Because I was accidentally waiting at that bar the first time I went to try to get food at Monstrose. And then I was like, oh, that's not even food. This is just drinks. So I didn't really look at it. All I saw was there was no food.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Very fun.
Gotcha.
So it might be there.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I think that is probably going to do it finally for our wrap up of week 1 and 2 now that we're in week 5.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening, everybody. If you see us in the fog, please come and say hi, because that's like one of the coolest parts of the night, for me at least, is when people who I've never met before say hi. I think I listen to you all the time. It's still like, it's surreal to me. So come say hi to us. But until next time, just for more content, check out our socials. We're on Facebook at Rush of Fear and Instagram and Twitter at Rush of Fear Pod.
It's sinister to me.
That's right. And for more general...
Yes, I was funny. I did it. I pulled a Kenneth.
You're so funny.
Anyways, sorry.
For more general... That's fine. For more general Universal Orlando Resort news, please check out our friends and UUOP network hosts over at the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, wherever podcasts can be found. You can also check out our other fellow UUOP network podcasts, the Theme Park Duo, the Taste of Universal podcast, and the Port Key Passport. And don't forget that you can be a part of each new Rush of Fear episode with our listener submission segment. Just send an email to rushoffear21@gmail.com and send an audio recording telling us your name, your favorite HHN house, your favorite HHN scare zone, and your favorite HHN memory. The houses in Scare Zone will be added to a running tally to see the overall listener favorites, and your audio recording will be added to the outro of each episode.
Yay! And more for listener submissions. Don't forget to be a part of the next Port Key Vacations commercial. Just send an audio recording of you saying, I wish to go to and then fill in the blank with wherever you might want to go in the whole entire world. Keep it within the world, though. We can't send you to space. Then keep listening for your commercial to magically appear.
Hey.
What? You're sending people to space? That's sick.
Maybe I can. I mean, I don't know.
It's the next thing.
Virgin Galactic.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
That's a
Is
real
it
thing.
really? Wait, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Get out of town. That's insane.
I mean, travel agents can't book it yet, but heck, when they can, yes, please. I'm on that.
That's wild. I have questions, but we'll save that for later. What was I saying? Your commercial is going to magically appear in a Rush of Fear and UUOP episode. You can email those recordings to podcast@uuopodcast.com. And then also check out our merch storefront and help support the show. You can head to www.tpublic.com, search for Rush of Fear Podcast, and you'll find our page with all of our products. And yes, I am actually working on logos and new designs right now. So stay tuned for that because I'm trying really, really hard with my non-artistic drawing skills. So, yeah.
Cool. Hey, be sure to check out my band Pangolin everywhere you listen to music online and follow us on social media at PangolinFL. We have a show coming up on October 9th. It's a Wednesday, so if you want to take a little bit of a break from your HHN festivities and go see some live music, it is a Halloween-themed show. It's at Sun on the Beach in Old Town, Kissimmee. So yeah, come on out and see Pangolin live. And if you could, please leave a spooky rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're using. It would really help us out, and we'd love to hear from you, the listener.
Yep. Thanks for listening, everybody. The podcast has come to an end. Now get out.
See you later.
Bye.